What's your greatest career achievement? This is an awesome interview question. I often do videos on these questions and I go, hey, I don't really like this question, but I know you're gonna get it, so let me tell you how to answer it. I don't feel that way about this one. I love this interview question. It's an awesome interview question, but I feel like most people don't maximize this opportunity. And that's a real shame because this question literally gives you the ability to sell yourself and the impact you have had and how you can do it for this organization in one nice little package. So today, I'm gonna make sure that you never leave opportunity on the table again, and I'm gonna help you maximize your answer to this interview question. So I think for the most part, if you've seen my videos, I don't really wax poetic about interview questions. You know, I say, hey, this is something you're gonna get, or you're gonna do this one, or hey, you'll probably have to answer this. And I don't feel that way about this interview question. I think it's one of my favorite interview questions to ask. I think it's important. I think it's a good one. I think it's relevant. So all the more reason for you to be prepared to crush this interview question. If you get this interview question in the back of your mind, you should go, yes, because you are ready to crush it. It should be a good thing. You should be happy. You hear this question, you go, awesome, I'm about to throw it down. So, why is this a really good question? It's a good question because it's not just even one question. When I ask this question, I'm asking it, and then we're peeling back the layers and we're looking at actual contribution, and actual skill and actual impact. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about that, but I'm gonna talk with some of the basics, some of the things that you need to know in order for you to do well answering this question. So my first tip, and I've got about 5 tips that I want to give you today. But the first tip is make it an actual big accomplishment. I know that seems like a stupid one, and maybe it seems like, well, why did you even share that tip, Ben? That's an obvious thing. And the reality is, isn't. I've asked this question so many times over the years in interviews, and I've had people give me what I would consider to be underwhelming achievements. And think about how big of a problem that is. If I'm asking you to give me the most significant thing you've done in your entire career, let's say you've been working for 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 30 years, and you boil all of that down and you give me one response and it's an underwhelming response, big yikes. That's tough, so that's the first mistake, because I think, you don't lose a job with this question, but you might not get a job by not answering it well enough. But if you do give this answer and it's like so underwhelming, that could be a little bit of a red flag for the person interviewing you. So I would say this, think about the accomplishment, and do you go, yeah, clearly that's a big accomplishment? Or do you, when you think about it, go, I don't know, is that a big accomplishment? If you have to ask, it's probably not. But feel free to run it by somebody and say, hey, do you think this is a big accomplishment? Like, is this the best thing I've done in my career? I think you'd be surprised the feedback you get. All right, let's move on to the next one. Be prepared to answer multiple questions about your greatest accomplishment. So one of the things that is important here from the recruiter's perspective is that a person is being candid. It is really easy to talk about somebody else's accomplishment. Be like, ooh, I was working with this guy and he did this and it was amazing. I'm gonna make that story my own, and I'm gonna talk about it. And this probably happens a lot, but not to good recruiters, because good recruiters are gonna ask a second question, a third question, a fourth question, a fifth question, a sixth question. If I ask this question and somebody gives me an answer and it's kind of short on details, you best believe I'm asking like 6 or 7 additional questions. I'll say, okay, great. Where did this happen? At which company? What was the duration of the project? How many people were involved? What was your actual task? What were the cost savings associated with this? What lessons did you learn? If you could go back and do anything different, what would you be doing? I'm going to peel back the layers of the onion, and I think most good recruiters, hiring managers, HR professionals will do that. So for you, I would say it's important to pick a thing that actually happened, right? You're not fabricating it, you're not taking somebody else's example, it's something you've actually done, and you've kind of brushed up on the details here so that you're prepared to answer questions about it. It is incredibly important for you to know this and be able to talk about it. Because if you give a good answer here and then I ask a question and you're like, I don't know how long it took, it makes it seem like you made it up. And then that pulls your integrity into question. So it's not even about, did you do this great thing anymore? It's like, can we trust you as a candidate? Is anything you're saying authentic? So I think it's really important to be familiar with this, pick a thing that really happened, and be able to answer a litany of questions surrounding the details. Okay, next tip. It is so important to have this be something impactful for your next role, right? So if you are answering this question and your answer is something amazing you did, but it's something that you absolutely will have no responsibility to in your new role, it's good, but it's not great, right? If it's truly great, you're showing them something you did that is in direct relation to what you're going to be doing. If you can say, I did this for my company, and the recruiter goes, wow, that is literally what this person's going to be doing here, that is a good thing. But if they go, okay, that's cool, you're not gonna do any of that here, how helpful is it? So I think it's an important thing that most people overlook, but familiarize yourself with the job description, with the role, ask questions, find out what you're gonna be doing, and then cater your answer to that. Have the thing that you're most proud of be directly related to what you're gonna be doing in your new role. That's a powerful way to answer this question. The next thing I wanna talk about is quantifying it. It is so important to quantify this. If you watch my videos, you know I talk about quantifying your impact all the time. If you can say to them, I made an improvement that over the course of 12 months reduced scrap by 50% and saved the company $400,000, that allows them to visualize your impact for them. This is what this person did for them, that's what they can do for us. And that's what you want to do. So as you go through and you're talking about your greatest accomplishment, put some numbers to it. Give that bad boy some teeth. They should be able to see, okay, that's what happened, that's what they can do for us. Again, most of us have done things with a quantifiable financial impact of some sort. It's just figuring it out and then using it to answer questions that make your answer so much more powerful. The last thing I want to talk about is the STAR method, and I've made a whole video about this. So if you haven't seen my video on the STAR method, please go watch it. It's my how to answer behavioral interview questions. I'll link it in the, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll link it in the box below. But please go watch that because I go into depth. But basically, situation, task, action, result. If you can use that as the framework to craft your answer, it's going to make sense. It's really easy to give an answer and then end up just kind of droning on and leaving out details and maybe not wrapping it up into a concise package. So easy to do that, but if you follow the STAR method, it allows you to really just turn it into a nice, solid answer in which you're including everything you need and nothing you are not. So again, I'm gonna say that one more time. Situation, so what was the situation? The task, what was the task that you took? The action, what were the specific actions that you took along the way to achieve your goal? And the result, what was the outcome? That was the situation, here's what you did, what ended up happening? There you have it. So again, this is an amazing opportunity to quantify your impact, show something that was significant in your career, show something that is directly related to what you're going to be doing, and really just give a powerhouse of an answer to show them why they should hire you. Make sure you maximize it. There you have it. That's how you answer that interview question. I appreciate you sticking around today. I know this was a little bit of a long one. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you like this video, please like, comment. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. And again, I appreciate you coming in and watching. Have a great rest of the day. Good luck in your next interview. You've got this.